My name is Bill O'Donnell. I'm the Norfolk County Register of Deeds. It's great being out in Braintree. I want to thank Mayor Sullivan and the staff for having us here at Braintree Town Hall, and of course Braintree Cable for filming. The Registry of Deeds is an arm of government many people might not know about, but it's been in existence since 1793 here in Norfolk County. There are 28 communities that make up Norfolk County, and Braintree is one of them. I think the mission is the same as it was in 1793. The Register of Deeds is responsible for having and recording land documents. We're responsible to do it in a secure manner, an efficient manner, and a customer service oriented way. So I think the mission statement has been the same since 1793, is that, you know, we have an economy that's built on real estate, and people have to depend on the records, and the Register of Deeds' job is to oversee an operation that records the community land records, and that's what we do at the Registry of Deeds. It's been done since 1793, and we continue to do it, although trying to do it in a more modern way. The Registry of Deeds is located in downtown Dedham. It's at 649 High Street. We're right across from the gold-domed Norfolk Superior Court. Dedham has been the county seat in Norfolk County since 1793, and the Registry of Deeds has been in Dedham since 1793. Land records, as I say, it's an arm of government many people don't know about, but when you think about it, people's biggest asset are their homes. And for most people, the biggest land record they have is the deed that's recorded at the Registry of Deeds, because when they bought that property, a deed got recorded that tells people they own that property. So there's all types of land records. For the individual, as I said, the deed's probably the most important. Usually people borrow money in order to pay for their property, so a mortgage gets recorded so the bank or the lender is protected. And then when the mortgage gets paid off, a mortgage discharge gets recorded. So those are kind of three types of documents that individuals might think of as that get recorded at the registry. But there are a host of other land records. For instance, some of the community land records pertain to your local government. When you get a Board of Appeals decision, that has to get recorded at the Registry of Deeds. A Conservation Commission might put restrictions on a property. That gets recorded at the Registry of Deeds. There are other type of government entities. For instance, hopefully no one gets in tax troubles, but the Massachusetts Department of Revenue and the IRS record documents at the Registry of Deeds if people are behind in their taxes, and if they resolve those issues with those entities, they have a release that gets recorded. So those are the type of land record documents that get recorded at the Registry of Deeds. A deed is a legal document, a very important legal document, because it lists who the parties are first. So if you, and I'm sure you'll be lucky enough to buy property, you're buying a house, the sellers are listed on the deed, and the sellers and their address is listed, and the buyer and their address is listed. And then there's a legal description that's put on the deed, along with the fee that's being paid. That's set by statute. Starting in 1969, you had to put addresses on the document, and you had to put what the consideration is or what's being paid. So the deed is really a legal document that's drawn up by the attorneys when people buy a piece of property. And then in order for that transaction to be effective, it has to get recorded at the Registry of Deeds. And it's very important because banks will not allow deeds to be recorded unless there's been title searches done. So the records have to be looked at in order to make sure that the buyer is getting a property without liens from, the seller might have had liens, that those have been taken care of. And the bank wants to make sure they're not lending money where there are other liens that are in existence. They want to make sure they're the first and only lien that's there when that new buyer buys the property. I'm very happy with the staff, and our staff has embraced change. We've tried to modernize the Registry of Deeds and deliver services. So we do have a very vibrant outreach program. For instance, being here at the Town Hall, with the new computers, the new advances in technology, it allows us to tie into the records at the registry. So when we come out here to Braintree, some people need copies of deeds, some people want copies of their homesteads, some people want a copy of the discharge because their mortgage has been paid off. So we can look that information up and print it. So we have tried to run a modern operation and use the advances in technology. With our new website at www.norfolkdeeds.org, a lot of attorneys have accounts, and they, first of all, it's free access. You don't have to be an attorney to look up the information. It's free access. So we're trying to bring the registry's records into people's homes and businesses. But a lot of the attorneys and title examiners and engineers have accounts, and they can print to their printer and print the documents. We still do it the old-fashioned way at the registry. We do have a customer service center. So even though we try to emphasize computerization and modernization, some of my background, when I was down at school, down in Washington, D.C., I worked for 3 years for Congressman Joe Moakley, and you learn the value of customer service. I worked as an assistant district attorney for Bill Delahunt, who also stressed the need to give residents good service, and that's what we try to do. So if you come by the Registry of Deeds, we have a customer service center. Our direct number is 781-461-6101. You can call. But if you come by, they'll look up the information much like we do here when we're at the town hall, and they'll print the documents, and you can get a copy of a document that way as well. So we do it online, and we also do it in person. The responsibilities of the Registry of Deeds is really to take documents. We try to help people, and there's a fine line between helping people and giving people legal advice. So when it comes to preparing deeds, the best advice I can give is to go to an attorney. It may sound simple, just adding a person's name to a deed, but there's a lot of legal consequences. So you really want to check, and we have a very good, the Norfolk County Bar Association has a referral service. There are a lot of very good local attorneys. So so we don't add names. We take the legal documents, but as the registry, we're kind of prevented from, we'll try to help people, but we really can't be given legal advice. So if people want to add names and things, they really should seek legal counsel, especially when you consider that the biggest asset you have is your home, and that paper document can affect different things. So you want to make sure it's done right. We can run people's names, and we have people that say, well, I forgot about that equity line, has it been paid off? So that's the beauty of what we've done with the modernization initiatives. If you went to Book 1, Page 1 on that website, the first document from 1793 that was recorded in, at the Registry of Deeds is available. So all our documents are online. People can view those documents, and with the indexes, people can do some investigation, and that's what attorneys do when they're doing title searches, but we see more and more people doing it on their own to try to get some information. A lot of people use the registry for genealogical and historical research, and one of the improvements we've been working on since we've been here last is when you went to Book 1, Page 1, you can view that document from 1793. Well, from 1793 to 1900, they were all handwritten out. It's in cursive. If you hit a T button, the transcribe button, we are transcribing all those old documents. So you can look at it in cursive, and then you can look at the typed written version and kind of read the documents. So all the documents are there, and a lot of people don't realize what's been recorded under their name, so that's why they look up the information. So everything that's been recorded, if it has been recorded, is available online to do the research. And we're still one of the few registries that print books. When I started in 2002, we were at book 17,000. We were approaching book 35,000. And we still have people that come in the old-fashioned way and look up the indexes, which we still print in book form, and we still print books, and they go through the books. The homestead has been written by the state legislature. It's under Chapter 188, and it's really a good consumer protection device. What the homestead does is sort of puts a picket fence around your home, which prevents the forced sale of your home. And as the theme of what I say is, the biggest asset most of us have are our homes, and the homestead is a tool that's been written by the state legislature to protect against certain troubles. For instance, you might get into a bad car accident and have a judgment against you, and it really prevents the forced sale of a home. When I started, the protection was $300,000, and it's been increased to $500,000 since my tenure at the Registry of Deeds. The legislature defines elderly as 62 and above, and they can declare a homestead. And there was a change by the state legislators, and you can thank your local legislators. You have Senator Keenan, you have Senator Timilty, you have Representative Mark Cusack. They all made changes, so now people who have property in trust, depending on the situation, can also declare an estate of homestead. If you haven't filed that estate of homestead, and it's a relatively small filing fee set by the state legislature at $36, thank you, state legislators, because you have an automatic homestead of $125,000. That was a recent change in the statute. But for a $36 filing fee, I think I'd rather try to get the $500,000 worth of protection. In our outreach program, we value the community. We go out to the office hours here at town halls like Braintree, because a lot of times, even though Dedham may not seem that far away, people are busy and travel can be tough. We go all the way from Bellingham to Cohasset to Brookline. So we do it as a service. Other parts of our outreach program is a lot of the senior centers and adult centers invite us in, where we're part of their speaking engagement, and then people really have an interest in looking up their information or have questions, so we do that at the various senior centers. We've also been, a lot of the libraries now invite us in. A lot of libraries have community programming, so we go in with our program where we talk a little bit about the registry and what's going on there, and some of the consumer issues that we've talked about, like the homestead, or making sure your mortgage discharge gets recorded, or some of the scams that are out there where there are letters being sent to pay $60 to $83 for a certified copy of your deed that at most cost $2, or when we're out here on outreach programs, we give them to the people for free. So we go to different organizations, the Lions clubs, the Rotaries, some retired clubs where we get invited in, and so we really have tried to do a lot on the outreach, and we continue to try to do outreach. One of the programs we have is a community notification, consumer notification, where you can sign up, and if any document gets recorded against your property, you'd get an email. So we try to bring the records. That's one outreach program, and at the registry, we try to be aware of other aspects of our community. We do a food drive during the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and again, on our website, we list all the food pantries, because they need food all year, so we list an address, so hopefully if people are so inclined, and I know there's needs in all communities, you can drop the food off. We do a Toys for Tot drive with the United States Marines, which is sort of an outreach program. We're happy to be doing that. We're very proud of our Suits for Success program, where people come by and donate suits, dresses, pocketbooks, scarves, and we get those items to Father Bill's place. There's interfaith social services in their community closet, where a lot of women's clothes are donated. And we've just recently partnered up with the Veterans Administration, where we donate the clothes over at Jamaica Plain. So we have a lot of outreach programs like that, and we just recently, there's a place called New Life Home Refurnishing, where they take donated items for people who are moving into a home, and maybe they can have certain things, and so we collect comforters, cookware, pots, silverware, and things like that. So part of our community outreach involves the records, the real estate records, and part of the community outreach is trying to do some of the things that I think are needed in the community.